Right, so, all the way back in 2014, a small game designer by the name of Scott Cawthon made a small indie horror game by the name of Five Nights at Freddy's. As you already know, over the years, these games have become slightly popular, and the first game quite literally blew the flip up. And with the games being called Five Nights at Freddy's, you're probably thinking that Freddy is the villain, right? Right? But you'd be horribly wrong, as Freddy has absolutely nothing to do with being the villain of this franchise.
The animatronic characters here do get a bit quirky at night.
As you'll find out by watching this video, he does absolutely nothing.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Right, class, take notes. You see, in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, all the way back in the fabled year of 2014, 10 whole years ago, when I was just a young whippersnapper, there was no true villain and only 4 animatronics. 5 if you count Golden Freddy. These animatronics consisted of a chicken that loves to stuff her face too much with edible delights, an out-of-order fox pirate, a top hat wearing bear that's a very, very sophisticated gentleman, and a rabbit that likes to stare into my soul a little bit too much. Golden Freddy is an entirely different animatronic from Freddy, but this guy has way too much lore relevance, and I am not going to get into the lore here. No thank you. Go watch MatPat over on Game Theory if you want to get the lore, because I ain't covering it. Not here. Right, just proper quickly, let's just go into YouTube and search up FNAF lore, Five Nights at Freddy's lore if you will, and scroll down. Oh my god. There's a lot, isn't there? There is a lot. Oh my god.
Fill him with the venom and eliminate him. Other words, I'm intimate him. I don't want to hurt him, but I did him in a fit of rage. I'm murdering.
Okay, now we've covered the first game, let's cover the second. By the way, just before we get into it, there's a couple more animatronics in FNAF 2. Not much more, but a couple more. With that knowledge, how many animatronics do you think there are in the second game? A bit of audience trivia, if you will. Go and comment it below. Right, you've commented it? I hope so, anyway. Right, how many animatronics do you think are in the second game? 5, 6, 7? No, 11. 11 animatronics, not including the secret characters, in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. But anyway, let's just speed through the rest of the animatronics in FNAF 2, because I'm getting bored of listing off regular animatronics, and I want to get to the main villain. First, we've got the toy animatronics, Toy Chica, Toy Freddy, and Toy Bonnie, who's got such an overcomplicated design, it's not even funny. Like, why does this rabbit have better looking eyes than mine? Next, we have the Wizards. The Withered animatronics are just like the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 animatronics, but well, withered. First, we have Withered Bonnie, who is built like a luxury toilet, rimless, back-to-wall, matte toilet and soft, close seat sensor range for £397 from Luso Stone with £40 delivery. Then, we've got Withered Chica, who has got, a low-hanging jaw, I guess. Next, we have Withered Foxer. And if you don't flash him with your flashlight, you best believe he's jumping head first right over your desk and mauling you, just because you didn't give him the artificial vitamin D that he rightfully deserves. And finally, we have Withered Freddy, who's just like normal Freddy, with a tiny crack and a couple of red and blue wires coming out of his ear hole. And just quickly, let me give you a little fact about Withered Freddy. Do you know Crackers, the YouTuber, right? Well, you probably don't, but if you do, go subscribe, right? He's brilliant. But it's his favourite Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic. I don't know why, because he looks goofy as hell, but it is. Right, we've covered the Withered and the toy animatronics. What could possibly be left in Five Nights at Freddy's 2? Well, there's technically one more toy animatronic that I didn't mention earlier. This is Mangle. And Scott Cawthon's very, very understandable reason to create this monstrosity and not just design a toy Foxer was that the kids, yes, 6 to 10-year-old children, tore him apart. Well done, Scott. You hit the nail on the head with that one. Next, we've got Balloon Boy, or BB for short. And I'm not getting into this little muppet, because this little shite was the sole reason I quit. Next, we've got Withered Golden Freddy, which is just like Golden Freddy from the first game, but with wires, I guess. And finally, we have the Marionette, or Puppet for short, and this little shite, just like Golden Freddy in the first game, has too much lore relevance, and I'm not getting into it, I promise you. Not here, no thank you. Just go watch MatPat. Just like in the first game, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was not much of a success. Coming out in 2014, about 3 months after Five Nights at Freddy's 1. So you probably sat here thinking, we've covered the first 2 games, where is the villain? Well, if you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, which, let's be honest, if you're here watching this video, you must be a Five Nights at Freddy's fan. You're not just some random bloke who saw the thumbnail and clicked. You've played the games before. Anyway, now we've covered the first 2 games, we can get on to the good stuff. Well, depending on what you think of Five Nights at Freddy's 3, probably the bad stuff. But let's be honest, that one is the worst. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is the main focus of this video. This game released on March 2nd, 2015 on Steam and March 7th on Android devices. And if you thought the animatronic count couldn't get any higher from Five Nights at Freddy's 2, you'd be dead wrong, with the third game having a measly 1 animatronic. That's right, it goes from having 11 animatronics in the second game to having 1. This animatronic is called Springtrap, or William Afton. William Afton is basically the entire reason the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise exists. You think Freddy's the main character? Well, good luck in the later games, because William be taking the spotlight with this one, guys. To start off William Afton's story, we have to go back to the fabled year of 1983, where him and Henry both co-founded Fredbear's Family Diner. Henry Emily, I mean. There was 2 animatronics at this location. One was Fredbear and another was Spring Bonnie. Both of these were spring lock suits, meaning the spring locks inside of the animatronics could be pulled back and worn by human life. This takes being a furry to a whole new level, you fursonas little gets. But despite how all of the fanatics portray William, he was not in fact a furry. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys, he wasn't a furry. By the way, before any Five Nights at Freddy's enthusiast in the comments section comment, oh, that's not lore relevant, or that's not correct in the timeline, I'm not MatPat, I'm not Scott Coffin, okay? I don't know how many hairs are on Freddy's Fazballs, okay? I'm going to skip a bit in the story, and I would recommend going on YouTube and watching an actual video on Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, it's going to be 16 million hours long to get the full lore, but I'm going to dumb it down, okay? All the new members in the Five Nights at Freddy's community, I've got your back, brother. Or sister, I don't discriminate. You see William Afton, right? He loved kids. Specifically killing them and stuffing them into his furry suits. I mean animatronic suits. Cough, cough. Then one day, those same 5 kids possessed the suits he stuffed them into. Yeah, don't even ask me how they do that, because I have absolutely no idea. And I'm pretty sure that's a question that even MatPat wouldn't be able to answer. Anyway, those 5 possessed animatronics chase William, who for some reason is wearing a metal animatronic suit in the rain in an abandoned building. Anyway, yeah, they chase him around the building until eventually the spring locks, what we talked about before, just clamped shut. Yep, they're going animatronic mode while William's inside, turning him into a flipping smoothie. Now, I'm sure all of you here are thinking to yourselves, what is he rambling on about? This is nothing like the title, and well, anyways, no, obviously I'm joking. I'm obviously joking. I'm getting to that part. Anyway, now, finally I'm getting to the title. Why William, aka Springtrap, is the perfect villain for the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. Well, Springtrap is not the only form William has taken over the years. He has also taken many other forms, like Glitch Trap, Scrap Trap, Burn Trap, and Mouse Trap. Now, I'm only joking with that one, but obviously there's a lot of different versions of him. Now, the reason I believe William Afton is the perfect villain for the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise is because he's perfect in any given scenario. You want him to be alive? Great. You want him to be dead? Even better. You want him to be a glitch form of an uploaded malware uploaded to a VR headset, which is canon to the Five Nights at Freddy's universe? Brilliant. Make that the villain. Perfect. Well done, Scott, you silly bloke. This man is actually unstoppable. Let's just do a quick recap about his entire life and his entire existence. This random bloke from Ohio, yeah, that's confirmed. William Afton is from Ohio. Google it if you don't believe me. Anyway, so this random bloke creates a franchise, then he kills some kids, okay? Then those kids possess some animatronic suits, okay? Right, you with me? I hope you are anyway, because I'm not explaining it again. Then those suits come to life and kill William. Well, not really kill him. They trap him inside of the Spring Bonnie suits. Then, in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, 30 years later, he gets burnt in a fire. Then in Five Nights at Freddy's 6, 3 games later, he gets burnt again in another fire. Then, he returns in Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. Then he's sort of destroyed and trapped unless he traps you in the alternate ending. Then he returns again as Springtrap, and you best believe he gets burnt for a third time in Security Breach. Okay? Up to date? Good. Neither am I. For real, the story is so confusing to me, right? Because how does he survive getting burnt not once, not twice, but 3 whole times? Like, honestly, how he does not look like charred Anakin Skywalker, I have no idea. Springtrap honestly is the perfect villain for the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise because he embodies both the horror of the animatronics and the dark human elements behind the nightmare. As the decaying haunted animatronic suit, Springtrap is a terrifying visual level with his damaged and grotesque appearance. However, it's the fact that William Afton is a child murderer and is trapped inside the animatronic, which is the fact that makes it more disturbing. This combination of man and machine makes Springtrap more than just a mindless monster. He represents the twisted consequences of Afton's evil deeds. Like, the existence he merges with technology, like, it just doesn't sit with me right. Do you know what I mean? Springtrap also brings a deeper sense of dread in the FNAF series, do you know what I mean? Because he isn't simply a haunted animatronic controlled by a bloody spirit. Well, actually, he is. But technically, he is like Springtrap. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's very, very hard to explain. But anyway, he's just like, it's just the deep lore behind Springtrap that makes him so perfect for the FNAF franchise. It's not even funny. But on a very, very, like, real note, I do love the FNAF franchise, and it is one of my favourite of all time. And I love the games and the concept behind the entire lore of the game. And I think it's really, really cool with lots of cool plot points. And as much as I make loads of jokes about the games and the characters in these videos that I make, you know, I do love the games and I do love the lore. And obviously this video wasn't intended on being so serious. And, you know, just, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Anyway, this is the outro. I have spent a lot of time. You don't even know how much time I've spent making the script and the video. But please, if you can subscribe, like, or do you know what? You don't even have to do that. If you can do that, that would be brilliant. But the amount of time I've spent editing this video, it takes a lot. And to not get anything back from the video, it just ruins my day. But also, you watching the video has made my day. So, do you know what? Thank you. And bye-bye. Hope you've had a nice viewing experience.